Will Grier.
Yes. Yeah.
It was a rough outing for Will.
It was.
38-6, Indianapolis Colts beat the Carolina Panthers.
So let's start with saying he was not helped by the fact that the Colts kept running back punts for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Two of them in this game. 195 yards on punt returns. Naheem Hines just kept scoring every time they punted him the ball. So that was a problem.
And nobody cares about the punt game.
So quite early in this game, though, Will Grier was in, I'm going to need to pass all day to come back.
Yeah, so I got three big takeaways in this game.
Okay.
Will Grier looked uncomfortable.
Yes.
Christian McCaffrey was spectacular.
Sure.
And this was he caught like 12 checkdowns and just made something happen on all of them. It didn't matter at all. I mean, they scored 6 points, but he was spectacular to watch, fun to watch. Let's agree to that. And I thought, I don't want to completely blame Will Grier. I really thought the Colts cornerbacks, and the grades are going to back it up and all that stuff, but Pierre Desir and Rock Ya-Sin, spectacular. I mean, those guys were in tight coverage the entire game, man, zone, making plays. They were outstanding.
So let's start with the caveats, right? Mm-hmm. One, Will Grier had to attempt 52 dropbacks in this game, had to attempt 44 passes. That's not ideal. You're trying to ease a rookie in who you're pretty sure isn't ready for it. That's not a great scenario.
Game script not in his favor.
Yeah. Two, loses his best receiver to a knock to the head quite early on. DJ Moore goes out, concussion protocol, doesn't come back.
Right.
Now you're down your best receiver. You're left throwing to a combination of a geriatric broken down Greg Olsen.
He did look pretty slow.
Right. Curtis Samuel, who's like 4'2". Jarius Wright, who I haven't checked after this game, but heading into the game, he'd had like 46 targets on the year, and you actually would have had a better passer rating if you just thrown the ball at the ground every time, 46 times.
Let's see where he's at now.
I doubt it got better given Will Grier's overall numbers. So that's not the best situation in the world, right? What's his passer rating?
Well, yesterday it was 3.3.
3.3?
After a 2.8 the previous week.
What? That can't be right.
Passes targeting Jarius Wright this year have a passer rating of 28.3.
There you go. So it got worse. All right.
No, I know. I'm saying this week it was 3.3.
Oh, I thought you meant this. Yeah, okay.
No,
yes. So for the year, throwing at Jarius Wright has yielded worse results than just throwing the ball at the ground 50 times.
I'd be better off throwing firing it right off the ground.
So what I'm saying here is that Will Grier did not have the best situation in the world to be working with, right?
Right.
There is a reason. I mean, the Kyle Allen disaster has not been all Kyle Allen, right? There's been problems around him as well.
Sure.
That being said, Grier did not look good. Basically didn't complete anything outside the numbers.
Yeah, according to the notes I wrote down as I reviewed this game, he looked like he was way too content throwing off platform and vacating clean pockets. So he's just not. It's his rookie first game.
It's his debut.
He's not comfortable going through progressions. His very first pass, he went 1 to 2 and he didn't set his feet and he overthrew it. Mm-hmm. Did that later in the game. Footwork was terrible. He's stepping that way and throwing that way, overthrow for a turnover-worthy throw. And I would say here's the bigger concern. We mentioned the other day, like, hey, a lot of his big-time throws, like over 60% of them came on touch passes, over-the-shoulder type stuff. He just missed on one, but he underthrew another. Like, he wasn't the passes that should be his strength, which I thought the Panthers did a pretty good job of manufacturing some of them. He wasn't hitting those.
Right.
Like, if he's gonna hit, he's got to hit the NFL throws more consistently, but he also has to hit on those big time throws that he was hitting at West Virginia. So
right. At the very minimum, you've got to do the things that you were doing well. Otherwise, you have nothing left.
He also, and this happened at West Virginia quite a bit. He reminds me of what you like to call Christian Ponder syndrome.
Yeah, I do.
Can you describe that for our
Christian Ponder syndrome is an NFL quarterback who in college was among the better athletes on the team and could outrun big lumbering defensive linemen that chased him out of the pocket, right? So a fat guy causes pressure, starts to chase you down. You're like, head off into the flat, outrun him for 5 yards, right? In the NFL, those big fat guys are better athletes than you are, and you need to learn that and get rid of the ball when that happens. Christian Ponder never learned that, and for his entire career would break the pocket and be chased down by a 340-pound fat guy and end up with a sack or a turnover because he never learned that he was no longer faster than that guy.
That's what it felt like. That's what it felt like at West Virginia. Will Grier, so it showed up in college, just didn't quite get a feel for the speed of the game when he's trying to make things happen outside the pocket. So room to improve for Grier. We'll see what happens in week 17 at home against the Saints.
The other caveat, or not even caveat, the other thing to point out is what we said heading into the game is that there's literally nothing he can show in 2 weeks that really means anything. In terms of his projection. Like Baker Mayfield, we're 2 seasons in and have no freaking idea what he looks like heading into 2020.
Still want to see improved comfort levels.
Sure.
Because at least Drew Lock, remember, showed signs of life.
Well, Grier's problem is that he's now got 1 game to show. He actually needs to play well in week 17 to even have any possible future. Otherwise, like they're changing the regime in Carolina. They're bringing in a whole bunch of front office people. They're obviously already changing the head coach. He's a part of the old system who wasn't heavily committed in anyway because he was a 3rd rounder, right?
Right.
So you literally have 1 game to go out there and play well enough that the new regime says, okay, there's something to this guy. We need to keep him around and at least see if he can develop. If he stinks in week 17, he may not be on the roster in a year's time. Like his entire NFL career may already be gone.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.